Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Friday, the 15th day of April. Here we go. Today, I want to tell you about Shabbos HaGadol. That's this coming Shabbos. They call it the Great Shabbos. I'll give you two common reasons why it's called the Great Shabbos. One reason is because the Jews were told on this Shabbos, way back when they were in Egypt, that they should prepare a sheep that they would be slaughtering on the night of Pesach, when they would first be that next morning they would be leaving Egypt. And that was a scary thing because that was one of the gods of Egypt, and they had to show the bravery to slaughter the god of Egypt. And it was on this Shabbos. It wasn't necessarily the same date, but it was this Shabbos that the Jews showed the bravery of tying these sheep to their bedposts in preparation for what the Egyptians clearly knew was going to be the slaughter of their god. And when the Jews showed this great, great, great braveness, this was something that made them worthy of being redeemed from Egypt, because they were throwing off the yoke of the Egyptians and their God, and so it was called the Great Shabbos, the Shabbos that they had the courage to be able to do such a thing. Also, I should just note that, when they put the blood on the doorposts, don't go thinking that blood on doorposts is because God needed a reminder, like which was a Jewish house. Of course, God doesn't need any reminder which house is a Jewish house, but it was more like the Jews were showing their bravery when they were willing to show that they were willing to put blood on their doorposts. Again, the God of the Egyptians smeared on their doorposts. That showed great bravery, and then God would say, that's a house I'm going to jump over, that's a house I'm going to jump over, etc. That's also why the Pesach offering had to be roasted, because the smell of roasting Pesach meat, wafting throughout Mitzrayim, throughout Egypt, was again a tremendous sign of bravery that the Jews were willing to throw off the yoke of the god of the Egyptians. Anyway, back to Shabbos HaGadol. So that's one of the reasons that we call it the Great Shabbos. Also on this Shabbos, rabbis make a great big speech in preparation for Pesach. They might tell a lot of the laws of Pesach. They might tell some of the hashkafa, some of the values that you need to know as Pesach arrives. Also, it's the Shabbos that we read the Haggadah, at least a part of the Haggadah, mostly the Magid portion. That's the portion that we read on Shabbos afternoon of Shabbos HaGadol. I once heard someone say that Shabbos Haggadah, the Shabbos of the Haggadah, is one of the not so well hinted reasons as to why it became known as Shabbos Haggadol. But anyway, those first two are the more famous. The first one is the more famous one. Also, we read a great Haftorah that talks about the Yom Hagadol v'Hanorah, the great day of the Jewish redemption, and so that's another reason that we call it Shabbos Haggadol. We will not be taking out an extra Torah like we did on the other four parshas that came as Pesach got closer, but we will read that special Haftorah, and the rabbis will be making, either in the afternoon or in the morning, a large speech in preparation for Pesach. Lastly, I couldn't resist telling you one more law about kitnios, and that is that if kitnios is found, like remember that's the stuff that's made like of corn syrup or something like that, or high fructose corn sweetener in it, and you find, let's say, a candy bar of kitnios on your couch, and you're Ashkenazi, and it's there in the middle of Yontif, is it muktzah? Is it stuck there on the couch? And the answer is simple, it's not muktzah. Although you might be Ashkenazic and not eating kitnios, it has a purpose. It's not a useless item. It can be eaten by a Sephardi if he happened to walk into your house. Even if he's not in your house right now, it could be fed to a child if the child really needed it. So in general, kitnios, although Ashkenazic Jews won't eat it on the holiday of Pesach, but they won't consider it muktzah either because it has some purpose. It could be fed to your pet, for example. Anyway, thanks for logging on. Have a great Shabbos HaGadol, and log on again after Shabbos for more. Bye-bye.